guys, it's me, Louie Bite. So throughout my life, I've always had 3 major skin concerns that I've been trying to find a solution to, and I think it's probably been in about the past year or so that I finally found the products that work for me. So the problems that I have are hyperpigmentation, oily skin, especially in the T-zone area, and of course, blackheads and pimples and those kinds of things. I've tried just about every combination of creams and skincare routines, from high-end stuff to drugstore things to natural herbal remedies like aromatherapy, and while some of them offer some temporary solutions, none of them have properly worked for me until about the last year or so when I started trying Korean skincare products. One of the brands that have had great products that really helped my skin was Etude House. The products themselves are really, really good, and I think some of the reasons why they're so great is because the ingredients that they use are mostly natural and plant-based or fruit-based, and they don't have any parabens, at least none of the ones that I've come across. So the first set of products I want to show you is what I credit with almost completely solving my oily skin problems. Wonder Pore is a line that's supposed to help to shrink your pores and minimize oil and sebum secretion, which sounds kind of gross. And I first tried it out in sort of a sample kit that I got from YesStyle, and I really love the sample kits that you can get from Etude because they come in a really decent size. So usually their samples last me for about 2 weeks, which really gave me a lot of time to try out the product before I wanted to sort of invest in buying it. I love that the slogan for Wonder Pore is "I'm the Wonder Woman for your pores, more powerful." So I start off my skincare routine by using the Wonder Pore Deep Foaming Cleanser, which is kind of like a foaming cleanser with small beads, so it has a slight scrubbing action to it. And the key to making this really work for you is essentially how you wash your face. So it's not enough to just wash your face a little bit and then rinse it off with water. You have to really make little circles around your nose and forehead and any areas that you get quite oily, and really try to get the product into your pores by massaging your face. And I usually do this for about a minute or 2 every time I wash my face, and then rinse with a ton of water. Don't just rinse once, twice, 3 times. I probably end up rinsing my face 10 times or so to really make sure that it gets clean. And when I dry off my face, I can really tell that my skin feels squeaky clean without being drying or tight, which is really important. So I follow up with the Wonder Pore Freshener, which is essentially a toner, and this one does contain alcohol, which I know some people are a bit sensitive to, but if you have oily skin, then alcohol is sometimes one of the only things that really helps to dry up your pores and stop the sebum and oils from coming out. This sebum thing that I keep mentioning is essentially the oils that your skin secretes, and this is the thing that causes you to get pimples and clogged pores. So by minimizing the amount of sebum that your skin is producing, you're essentially going to be minimizing the amount of pimples you get. So this has a little pump thing that you just press your cotton pad onto, and I usually do about 2 pumps, and I use it all over my skin. And this has a really nice cooling effect on the skin, and it really helps to shrink your pores quite a lot. One of the reasons that people tend to get blackheads is if they first have enlarged pores, it's easier for dirt and makeup and other products to get inside your pores and essentially clog them up. So tightening your pores with a product like this is going to help to prevent blackheads in the future. So next I use the Wonder Pore Tightening Essence, and this is basically what I use as my moisturizer really, even though it's not particularly moisturizing. This is kind of gel-like in consistency, and I use a small amount, probably 1.5 to 2 pumps, and I just put it all over my face, and I make sure to really pat it into my face, especially my problem areas, so like my nose, forehead, and I definitely notice that it has a good pore tightening effect. And what I really like about it is that once it's absorbed into the skin, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything. Because a lot of creams that I have used in the past, they sort of end up feeling quite sticky or a bit too moisturizing, and so when my skin first starts to get a little bit oily, it feels like the oil is mixing with it, and it's just not a very comfortable feeling to have. So the final product that I use is the Wonder Pore Corrector, and I essentially just use these on the areas that actually need it. So I use it on my nose, chin, and forehead to stop any oiliness. And then I use it on any pimples that I might have, just because it helps to really reduce the redness of them, and I find that they go away a lot faster when I'm using it. It has a really cooling metal tip, which is great if you have an inflamed pimple or something that can be quite painful, and so you can just use a tip and it actually is quite soothing. I tend to use this as a pre-primer in a sense because this really finalizes the whole pore shrinking process and makes it so that whatever area I've used it in becomes really smooth and sort of glassy like. So your makeup primer and foundation, etc. go on perfectly smooth. So those are the Etude products that I have been using lately. For me personally, I've been struggling with my skin probably since I was about 10 or 11 years old, and it's so nice to finally find a set of products that work for me. Of course, everybody is different, and so because these products work for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will work for you, which is why I recommend if you can find the little trial kits, you should definitely give them a try, because I was able to tell after about 1 week that the products were working for me. Either way, the products are not that expensive. I think each of the ones that I showed here were around 10 to 15 pounds each, and you get quite a lot of product. Like, I've had these for almost 6 months and they're still not entirely used up. So I'll have links below to where you can find these. I usually use YesStyle. This is not sponsored in any way, I just really like their service. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions regarding the products I talked about or just skincare in general, and I will try to answer each and every one of you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I will see you all very soon.